Joan Booysen, the girl who got away and whose escape actually led to police pursuing Gert and Joey. In January 1990, a blonde woman abducted Joan Booysen, 16, from Church Square in Pretoria. She later escaped despite being sexually assaulted, drugged, tied up and placed in a cupboard. Her escape then led to Van Rooyen and Haarhoff's demise. In an interview on the 23rd of November 2009, Joan said that she used the lid of a cooler box to open the hook on the other side of the cupboard door. She made her way to the lounge and looked outside. Haarhoff was in the garden and there was no sign of Van Rooyen. She phoned a cousin, briefly telling her what happened and where the house was. Then she ran outside, flagged down a car, told the man what happened, and passed out. We assume that the man drove her to the nearest police station, as Van Rooyen's house was placed under surveillance that evening. We, however, discovered glaring discrepancies when listening to interviews by Joan and her sister, and I will put a link to one of these interviews in the description box. Although one cannot pin fabrications on Joan or her sister, somehow they must have spoken to one another about the matter, which is only a natural thing to do. First, in the interview, she speaks about Joe Haarhoff. The interviewer even asks her who Joe is, but she persists in speaking about Joey Haarhoff as Joe. Secondly, she says Van Rooyen and Haarhoff were married. They were never married. Thirdly, she explains the escape and leaves me with questions, particularly as we had by now already collected as many photographs of the original house as possible and had even taken aerial photographs of the yard as it is now in order to get the lay of the land. Fourth, as this is where the story becomes a little too much, Joan's sister tells about the coincidence and tells about a project Joan did a year or two before she was abducted, which concerned the other abducted girls. She remembers how Joan had cut the photographs of the other girls from the milk cartons. This is not quite possible. Had she said a month or 2 or 3 before she was abducted, but a year or 2? No. The girls were abducted between August 1988, Tracy-Lee, and 11th of January, when Joan Booysen herself was allegedly abducted. This a period of 17 months. Yolanda Wessels was abducted only 2 months and 8 days before Joan Booysen. So how could she possibly have done a project on the other girls a year or 2 before she was abducted? Had she done work on the missing girls, why then did she allow a woman with blonde hair to entice her into her car?